in Seattle. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. Winner go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Come on now, come on now, let's go. Great.
Now a play fake. Wentz. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. It's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
And he takes it all the way down to the 3. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 45 yards. So 1st and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. They'll try to run with Ajayi. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. And one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you can darn near lay down near the end.
And he will take this one in for an Eagle touchdown. Jay Ajayi taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Eagles drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Check 50.
Now Wilson on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess.
14. Be alert.
On third down, Wilson shakes off the sand, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Michael Bannon able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be fourth down. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
They'll start out on the ground with Ajayi. And now running right through it. Still staying up. Ajayi's going to go. And all the way down to the 39. A big play there from Ajayi. And even 50 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On the run, it's Pumphrey. And he'll go down at the 28. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Wentz now on first down. Steps away to his left. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. This is Ajayi. And some space here. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. In their locker room, they've got a sign that says defense wins championships. And, Charles, they pointed to that this week, said that has to be us. Looking good early.
I like how you saw that because of the bold letters, right? You saw the emphasis that they place on that and what they believe in. And for them, it's every single snap. So it's not just a matter of getting to the quarterback and knocking the ball free. They're trying to read when that ball's going to come free. As soon as those hands separate to throw the ball, they want to be there and have a chance to knock it out.
Tempo. What? 280. Go, go, go.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. That throw good for 4. It's second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you...
And it'll go down in the end zone. Down goes Wilson. It's a safety. I think you'd have to say this crowd here in Seattle, this 12th man had something to do with that.
As well as the architect of this stadium, combined with this crowd noise, makes it very difficult to run offense. And here, 2 points result for the defense.
It is deafening in here. And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. This is fielded at the 7. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Good chip.
Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. They run with Ajayi. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They run for it with Ajayi. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up The first before he's brought down.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On play action, Wentz. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Nazir Jones forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. From the gun, it's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
36.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some room to maneuver. The 20. And he's taken down inside the red zone past the Seattle 15. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Here's Ajayi. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down. Here's Wentz to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And a short return to the 6-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd down. You're in a tight game in the loudest stadium in the NFL, and it's enough to rattle even the most seasoned of quarterbacks. And here, it looks like he's not quite on the same page as his receiver. This will wind up a turnover.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Spot left, spot left.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this.
Right, green 80.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
14. Reload, reload. Come on out here. Come get some.
Now Wilson to throw on third down. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. And that pick just sets him up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. On second down, here's Wentz.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
And the penalty certainly makes things tougher here as they try again. Third and goal. To throw, it's Wentz. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And they're going to fake it. He wants to throw it here. And all the gamble fails. It's incomplete. So the interception, that had him set up in golden shape, but no first down comes of it. And in the end, no points come up.
And Brandon, I tell you, in a sudden change offense, you must capitalize. This is where you can really swing momentum in your favor. But that time, they let him off the hook.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Got four down. Check 50, check 50. Kill.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And some strong running. Going up top. Looking for Baldwin. Intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
They'll begin the drive with a jive. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Now, he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. The Eagles on third down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. On play action, it's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Second half begins with a run from Penny, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Switch. Zebra. 14.
On third down, Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Following the penalty, it's 1st and 5, and you got to think offensively, all kinds of options. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Penny. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They keep it with Penny on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Check 50.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run again with a J. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
They fake the give. Now Wentz keeps himself upright. He can run for it, and he will. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down. The Eagles send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Returnable for Lockett. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. It's
a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Penny, a 1st down carry. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He finds his man, Baldwin. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 1st down, Seahawks, Wilson to Baldwin.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And this one's incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Check 50, check 50.
Play action. Now Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Dick. Radley, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
And not a whole lot doing there, as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Throwing is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Hey, empty. Empty. There we go. Back.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Pushes him over. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And tough sledding. They'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Wentz to throw on second down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Working from the gun, Wentz. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Right back to him on first down. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo!
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
Hey, easy. Check 51. Check 51. Start. Zebra, zebra. Be alert, be alert.
Here's a give to Penny. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Big gumbo. Big gumbo. Come on, Matt. Come on, Matt.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Hey. You got 4. You got 4 down. 4 down.
Game on the line, season on the line. They're going for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Penny. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Rashad Penny, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
This is fielded at the goal line. They'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
That gets them the first down, but they've still got to move quickly here.
Dancing to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Back to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. An Eagle first down there. Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. They'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
Please, please. 81, 81. What's this? What's this?
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, their playoff run may end right here. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. They begin with a run by Penny. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Penny. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And the Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. The pitch goes to Penny. And he coughed it up. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. He's back to throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Buying time to his left. They set up the screen to Ajayi. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right?